Hello, everybody. I'm Scott Sean White, and I am from Poetry, Texas. Welcome to In the Music Room. In a city full of concrete, be the blade of grass sticking through the sidewalk. In a circus tent full of tightropes, be the net. In a long week full of Mondays, be asleep in Sunday morning. In a casino full of penny slots, be $1 million long shot bet. And if you gotta be guilty of all the good things. If you wanna be rich in all the real ways. If you gotta be crazy like Jesus. If you wanna be famous, make sure you're famous for all the right reasons. In a summer full of 103, be a water fight out in the front yard. In a kitchen drawer full of scissors, be the tape. In an ocean full of hurricane, be the rock that holds the anchor. In a prison full of walls, be the key that opens the gate. And if you gotta be guilty of all the good things. If you wanna be rich in all the real ways. If you gotta be crazy like Jesus. If you wanna be famous, make sure you're famous for all the right reasons. There's a lot of things that you can be, but you won't end up something you're proud of accidentally. So if you gotta be guilty of all the good things. If you wanna be rich in all the real ways. If you gotta be crazy like Jesus. If you wanna be famous, make sure you're famous for all the right reasons. If you wanna be famous, make sure you're famous for all the right reasons.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back. It's always so good to have you here in the studio.
Thank you very much. I love this room.
It loves you too.
I love these people.
You have your song, All the Right Reasons. Tell us a little bit about that and what inspired you to write it.
You'll hear me say this a lot, but that song was born on a road trip down to Moravia, Texas. You ever been to Moravia?
I haven't.
My family are Moravians.
I haven't been to poetry either.
Yeah. Moravia is about 5 hours from here, and I went down there for a thing called Songwriters Serenade.
Oh, uh-huh.
It's like a contest thing.
Right.
And it was just a awesome 3 days. But anyway, it was born on the way down there, and that first line, a lot of my songs are born with the first line. That first line popped in my head. In a city full of concrete, be a blade of grass sticking through the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And I didn't really, with a lot of my songs, I don't really, when that first line pops in your head, you're like,
it takes you somewhere.
I wonder what that's about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
a lot of the time you start thinking of lines similar, and then it just kind of leads you where it's going to go. And then it ended up being, when I introduce that song out live, when I play it, I say it has some very non-Nashville pictures in it. Those aren't, I can't imagine a Nashville artist cutting that song just because the pictures are so quirky. But I wanted to write it. I wanted to write it that way. I was just like, I'm not gonna worry about Tim McGraw or Kenny Chesney or anybody being able
There you go.
anybody there being able to cut it.
Scott Shawn White's good enough for us.
Oh, absolutely.
Sometimes you just got to say what you want to say the way you want to say it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Not worry about the other stuff.
That's right.
So.
Tell us about your next song. It's What a Man's Supposed to Do.
Oh yeah.
I should have written this one.
I should have. You would have written it different. I
bet I
suspect.
would have.
I suspect by
I
that
would've-
comment.
I would probably be a little different.
That's so great. I wrote this with my friend J.P. Williams, who I will give him a shout out real quick. He had his first #1 song. Matter of fact, it was about a little over a year and a month ago. I went to his first #1 party in Nashville. He wrote a song for a new country artist named Jimmy Allen. He wrote a song for him called Best Shot, which spent 3 weeks at #1. So
Wow.
Cool, yay.
shout out to my friend J.P.
Yay,
Williams.
J.P. Williams.
And he and I have been writing together since at least 2007, maybe even a little bit earlier. And we walked in a writing room probably 2 years ago. And JP is blind and plays the heck out of the guitar and
Wow.
sings like an angel.
Well, the next time he's here, you need to bring him in.
He grew up in Dallas.
Yeah.
Until he was about 12 or 13.
Does he live in Nashville?
He lives in Nashville now, yeah.
Yeah.
And he comes down here every now and then. So yeah, I'll have to tell him you love him.
Put a bug in his ear.
Does he gig?
Yeah, he does.
Well,
Yeah, he's
what
great.
does that tell you? You need to put him.
Yeah,
in
he's
touch
great.
with us.
Yeah.
So
Let your guitar. Yeah.
that day we got together and he said, "Man," and I'm always so honored when people say this. He said, "Man, I have this idea I've been saving to write with you."
Aw, that's awesome.
Yeah. And now you can write that title the way you want to write it.
It won't be near as purty, I'm sure.
This is a different take on the idea than yours. But he knew I was kind of raised by a single mom. Although my mom was a little bit crazier than this mom. This song got about 14,000 views in a week a few weeks ago.
Yay.
I tagged single moms in it. And it got shared like 150 times or something. So it's very hard to sing. I'm going to give it a shot. First time I played it out probably in public. She whooped me when I needed whooping. Taught me how to throw a curve. Showed me how to look a man in the eye, shake his hand and keep my word. She walked me through how to change a flat, drive a nail and bait a hook. And she drugged me back into the store, made me tell the owner what I took. She taught me when to walk away and when to stand and fight. And she made sure that I knew what it meant to treat a woman right. Yeah, when he walked out, she stepped in, did whatever she had to. She did what a man's supposed to do. I didn't need a man to make me tough. No, she took care of that. I learned how to pray and nurse, how to work watching her break her back. She taught me when to walk away and when to stand and fight. And she made sure that I knew what it meant to treat a woman right. Yeah, when he walked out, she stepped in and did whatever she had to. She did what a man's supposed to do. I ain't saying that I didn't miss him. I'm just saying that I can't imagine anyone stronger than the woman who even showed me how to forgive him. She taught me when to walk away and when to stand and fight. And she made sure that I knew what it meant to treat a woman right. Yeah, when he walked out, she stepped in, did whatever she had to. She did. Oh, she did. She did what a man's supposed to do. What a man's supposed to do. Thank you very much.
That is nice.
I
Very
think
nice.
I think that fits Helen. She's a
Yep.
fits her a lot.
Yeah.
Tell us about Are You There?
Are You There? Real quick note on that last song too, just because it's interesting. The line in there about drug me back to the store, made me tell the owner what I took. When I wrote that song, when we finished that song, I sent it to my kids, and my oldest daughter texted me back, and she goes, "I'm famous. I'm in a song," because she stole like some beads from Mervyn's
Oh, how funny.
when she was like 5. And I drove her to Mervyn's, told her the whole way, "Hey, you stole something. If they take you to jail, there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
We're going to talk to the manager. You're going to these things, and we'll just see what." She was hysterical.
Oh, I
It was like
bet.
a 20-minute drive to Mervyn's. Walked in, walk her to the main counter of Mervyn's there in Garland, and everybody's looking at me like I beat my child. 'Cause I walk up, "Can I talk to the manager?" "Yes, sir." And we went in the back, and the manager played along real good, great, and it was awesome. So she never forgot about it.
Yeah,
So
never
that's,
did that again.
And you
A little
didn't-
bit of
and
truth
you
ends
didn't
up-
either. Obviously.
No.
But tell us about Are You There?
Are You There? I wrote with Adam Wheeler and Kyle Coolahan, 2 of my friends in Nashville. And I write with Adam a lot. He's represented a lot in the set list tonight, I realized. But we got together one day. It's probably about 2.5, 3 months ago. And I have one brother's in the early stages of dementia. And he's his stepfather was in the late stages of Alzheimer's at the time. He has since passed away. But Adam had just been to see him, and he had this title called "Are You There?" And he kind of told us the angle of it. And so 3 grown men sat in a room all day and cried all day and wrote this song. And in the songwriting world, that's a great day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
It's good for your spirit. So make sure I got this in the right key before I get going here. Well, your eyes are open and the TV's on, but you ain't here, 'cause this ain't home. I get it. There's a picture of you on your nightstand, all young and tan, like the Marlboro Man, just grinning. Sunday afternoon, room 22, I'm right here. Where are you? Are you there, hanging out of a chopper in the air over Vietnam? Are you there, in that little church sliding a diamond on her hand? Are you turning a wrench on your Chevrolet and dropping a line in the puncher train? Some days it's hard to find you, man, I swear. Are you there? If I'm bothering you, I can leave, but I've come to treasure days like these while we got 'em. I know you know who I am. If you don't today, I understand, no problem. Sometimes I just wish I knew where you go when you leave this room. Are you there, hanging out of a chopper in the air over Vietnam? Are you there, in that little church sliding a diamond on her hand? Are you turning a wrench on your Chevrolet and dropping a line in the puncher train? Some days it's hard to find you, man, I swear. Are you there? When I think about the life you've lived, I know your mind's got a million places it could go. Are you there, teaching me how to shoot a rifle by the barn? Are you there, and jumping up and down the day I hit my first home run? Are you turning a wrench on your Chevrolet and dropping a line in the puncher train? Some days it's hard to find you, man, I swear. Are you there? Thank you very much.
That was really sweet, really nice.
Yeah, we have some very famous people in Nashville excited about that, so we'll see.
Oh, good. Good. Made the Rest Up. Tell us about that one.
I was thinking about that on the way down here. I think it was actually a thought that was born out of thinking about when we had our first daughter. I didn't have, if you've seen these shows before, I have a song called Call It Even that I'm not doing tonight, but it talks about my childhood. And I didn't have a father figure of any repute.
Yes.
That's the word I'm looking for. So I remember having our first daughter and just being terrified, looking at her like, I have no idea what this looks like, but I know I love you, so I'm just gonna love you as much as I can.
There you go.
Figure out the rest as I go. And so, the song though ended up being about a relationship, and it fits my wife and I too, me more than her, because the idea is that we just knew that we were in love and we made the rest up. Which fits.
Isn't that what you have to do? You go through life just making it up. No book comes with it.
Yeah, especially with the love part. Like, well,
Yep.
okay, we'll figure the rest of this out. And thankfully we did.
Yeah.
Still here 31 years later, married 29. Thank you, Jesus.
Yay.
So it goes like this. Sometimes ignorance is bliss. Sometimes young hearts know best. Sometimes you gotta go all in, fall in, completely get lost in somebody you just click with, like we did. When we didn't know what we were doing, but I knew you'd be by my side. Didn't have a clue, and girl, the truth is, got a lot wrong, but we did alright. Know how to blueprint, but we said so what? We just knew we were in love, and we made the rest up, made the rest up. One bedroom just south of town. Rent went up, cash went down. But if you asked us, it was perfect. Loved it, every second worth it. With somebody you build a life with, like we did, like we did. When we didn't know what we were doing, but I knew you'd be by my side. Didn't have a clue, and girl, the truth is, got a lot wrong, but we did alright. Know how to blueprint, but we said so what? We just knew we were in love, and we made the rest up, made the rest up, made the rest up. When we didn't know what we were doing, didn't have a clue, and girl, the truth is, didn't know what we were doing, but I knew you'd be by my side. Didn't have a clue, and girl, the truth is, got a lot wrong, but we did alright. Know how to blueprint, but we said so what? We just knew we were in love, and we made the rest up, made the rest up, made the rest up. Thank you very much. Like I said, that probably fits me more than my wife. She always has more of a clue than I do about things.
The next song, which is one of my favorites,
Me too.
Dad's Garage and Mama's Kitchen.
Me too. Yes, thank you.
Love that one.
Yeah, I wrote this with Helene Cronin, who I write with a lot,
Yes.
and one of my most trusted co-writers. And
She's a good lady.
she is. She's brilliant. She had this idea. She grew up partially back east, and then she moved down here somewhere in her childhood, and they moved to a house over in the Bryan Adams High School district, I think, where it was a house that had a little detached garage, you know, a few feet away.
Right.
And so that's where the idea came from, and she brought it to me, and I'm very thankful she did. And, you know, this is one of those songs that took 5 or 6 writing appointments to write. I mean, it took, and when I say writing appointments, anywhere from 3 hours to 5 hours each. I mean,
Right.
you know, it took
Yeah.
some hammering to get every syllable in its place. But, I'm glad we spent that time. One bare light bulb hanging from the rafters, the smell of motor oil, sawdust and sweat, hot rod engines, hammers and wrenches, old spare parts and spare time well spent. But at 6 o'clock, and not a minute after, the supper's ready call come through the back door screen. Baby's crying, the sizzle of something frying, and Grandma's china if we had some company. From Dad's garage to Mama's kitchen, might have been just a couple steps apart. You couldn't find two worlds more different than that short walk across a yard. But between carburetors and casseroles, broken hearts and fishing bowls, there was always something needed fixing. In Dad's garage in Mama's kitchen. Just an old pine workbench, an old oak dinner table. We talk pickups, pot roast, politics, and Jesus. Most of our problems back then we could solve with some grit, a little grace, and a lot of grease. From Dad's garage to Mama's kitchen, might have been just a couple steps apart. You couldn't find two worlds more different than that short walk across the yard. But between carburetors and casseroles, broken hearts and fishing poles, there was always something needed fixing. In Dad's garage and Mom's kitchen. Between carburetors and casseroles, broken hearts and fishing poles, there was always something needed fixing. There was always someone there to listen, to pass the 5/8 and pass the chicken. In Dad's garage, in Mama's kitchen. In Dad's garage, in Mama's kitchen. Thank you.
Love it. Crazy till it works.
Yeah. This is another song that started with the first line of the song. I was sitting on my porch in Poetry, Texas.
Yeah, yes.
I
What a
wasn't even
neat,
trying
what
to
a
write a
neat
song.
name for a town.
I know, isn't it?
Yeah. Is that why you moved there?
No, we moved there because we found the perfect 5 acres with a barn that was ready for the horses and
All right.
this amazing porch, which I write a lot of songs
Oh,
on.
yeah.
So, but I was on that porch. I don't even think I was trying to write a song. This line popped in my head. They got married by Elvis in a drive-through chapel in Vegas.
It happens.
And I thought, it does. It does.
Yeah.
Which is extra crazy.
I know.
And I remember thinking, I wonder what that's about. They sounded like an interesting couple, first of all.
Uh-huh.
They sound a little stupid. Which again, you've already heard I can relate to. I always like to say I accidentally wrote it about my wife and I. I changed all the details. I mean, we didn't get married by Elvis in a drive-through chapel in Vegas. We didn't start a bluegrass band like this couple does in the second verse. Mm-hmm. But one detail that ended up in there, and you've heard this before probably, but one true detail that ended up in there was the guy in the song sold cars. And that's how I met my wife. Mm-hmm. I sold her a car and a family for $3.14 a month. She just didn't read the fine print.
No.
We're tricky like that. And but the funniest thing was that I didn't knowingly put that in the song, and I didn't realize I had put it in the song until the first time I played it out. And I'm sitting there singing it, and I was like, "Oh, check that out! I sold her a car." And it's just one of the magical things that happens with songwriting. Mm-hmm. This stuff swirls around in your spirit, especially when you do it every day, and like it's your job.
Right.
Stuff ends up in songs that you look back at later and you go, "Wow, I didn't even know I was put it in there." So, and the other thing about this song too, that resonates not on the relationship side of things is the hook is "Crazy's only crazy till it works." Mm-hmm. And I've been going to Nashville now for over 15 years, back and forth once or twice a month, and I'm there 2 weeks a month every month now. Mm-hmm. And for probably 12 of those years, every trip there was a moment in the trip where I was in the car on the way there, on the way back, or I was in some friend's bed that was letting me crash at their place. And I would just all of a sudden think to myself, Scott, what in the hell are you doing? This is crazy.
Making music, man.
And then about 3 or 4 years ago, it just stopped. So, and I have 4 songs cut in the last month by a kid on Black River Records in Nashville.
Yay.
So you may hear him on the radio soon.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
And I have somebody else famous that's recording at least 1 in April, maybe 2. So, crazy's only crazy till it works. That's right.
There you go.
They got married by Elvis in a drive-through chapel in Vegas. They knew it was crazy. Thought, hell, what if we make it? How cool would it be to tell the children and the grandchildren it was 1,000,000 to 1 shot and we were the 1 in 1,000,000? She sold waffles and eggs, hot coffee and smiles at the diner. He sold Subarus and Hondas and one-liners. He was a loser, but thank God she was a finder. He was a misser all day, she was a love him all nighter. Dreams will still be dreams after you wake up. Fights are only fights until you make up. Brave is only brave if there's a chance it's gonna hurt. And crazy's only crazy till it works. He gave $2,500 to a roughneck in Laredo for a flat-nosed fixer-upper Winnebago. They sold everything except his Martin and her daddy's mandolin. He said, trust me, baby, whatever comes, we can handle it. And dreams will still be dreams after you wake up. And fights are only fights until you make up. And brave is only brave if there's a chance it's gonna hurt. And crazy's only crazy till it works. Yeah, crazy's only crazy till 50 years go by and you look back and realize that all along this wild, wild ride, all the wrong turns turned out right. And dreams can still be dreams after you wake up. And fights are only fights until you make up. Brave is only brave if there's a chance it's gonna hurt. And crazy's only crazy till it works. Crazy's only crazy till it works. They got married by Elvis in a drive-through chapel in Vegas. They knew it was crazy.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Thank you.
You've got alliteration going on in that song, son.
A little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Leaves, branches, and trunks. Tell us
Yeah.
about that.
This is one of my.
It's a tree.
I hope.
It's one of my favorite songs and the craziest title, really, in my whole catalog. I wrote this with Adam Wheeler, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it right after this song. So I don't give something away, but it's called Leaves, Branches, and Trunks, and somehow it's not about a tree. Leaves don't take more than a breeze to make 'em up and leave the tree and fall right to the ground. And branches, you won't hear 'em crackling till the wind picks up strong enough to bring 'em down. But trunks just stay right where they are. They don't move an inch, they don't tear apart. With roots so deep, you can't pull them out. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Now I've seen people come and go, blow any which way the wind blows, hit the road first sign of a storm. Seen other people do their best, hold on till they got nothing left, finally break when they can't take anymore. But trunks just stay right where they are. They don't move an inch, they don't tear apart. With roots so deep, you can't pull them out. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Now I've been a leaf and I've been a branch, still trying to be more like my dad, 'cause there ain't no doubt what he was. Trunks just stay right where they are. They don't move an inch, they don't tear apart. With roots so deep, you can't pull them out. Yeah, trunks just stay right where they are. They don't move an inch, they don't tear apart. With roots so deep, you can't bring them down. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa. Yeah, Adam's real dad had passed away about 9 months before that. And we didn't start out. I had just seen, long story short, I was staying at Barrett Baber's house in his basement, and I made tea that morning. And the microwave had a little vent on it that somehow was moving some trash bags on top of the cabinets
Yeah.
that were hanging over. The air coming out of that vent, I could barely feel this far from the microwave, was 4 feet up moving the little trash bag.
Yeah.
And it made me start thinking about how easily that trash bag's moved around. And I started thinking about leaves. And Barrett's got a big old forest outside his back window. And I looked out there and I went, well, that's the whole picture of it. You know, leaves takes the slightest breeze to move them. Branches takes a little more, and trunks
Right.
going to take a tornado.
Right.
And so I told Adam that when we got done with some of the song one day, and we were headed to lunch, and Adam started playing. And I told him, I said, I don't think this is a song. I think it's just some life truth, or if I was a preacher, maybe it'd be a sermon or something, you know. But he starts playing that, and leaves don't take more than a breeze. I was like, I was ready to go to lunch.
Forget lunch.
But
Tell us about the bottle. Tell us about that
the
song.
bottle, speaking of Adam Wheeler, like I said, he's very well represented today. I wrote this with him and Terry Joe Box 2 months ago. It's one of my newest songs. And he had seen something on a vacation that said a bottle is a bottle of wine. Wine is a bottle full of poetry. That's what it was. It was a bumper sticker or something, right? And then Terry Joe remembered that she said, you know, when I ran an Airbnb out of my basement, I would make custom labels for bottles of wine for every client, and it said inside this bottle is old memories and a good conversation. And so all that combined together, we threw a relationship into the mix and ended up coming up with this.
There you go.
Which is always fun. And people are probably going to call it real fine, cheap wine, which is fine, but we call it the bottle. Try to do it without the jazz notes in there next time. Hold on. We've been saving this bottle for a rainy day. Baby, it's raining. It's been sitting on the shelf, hidden away. Baby, just waiting. It's time to put it on the table. It's just a $14 label, but in this bottle there's a night of you and me, some sweet conversation, some go down easy memories. It's full of one more last chance, a little crying till we laugh, some kiss me like you used to one more time, and some real fine cheap wine. There's a take it slow dance in the first glass. So baby, let's pour it. The second one's full of I miss you so bad. I wanna sip it till morning. So let's not overthink it. Let's just lock the door and drink it. 'Cause in this bottle there's a night of you and me, some sweet conversation, some go down easy memories. It's full of one more last chance, a little cry until we laugh, some kiss me like you used to one more time, and some real fine cheap wine. We tried it all, what's fixed? I don't know, but maybe it's in this bottle. There's a night of you and me, some sweet conversation, some go down easy memories. It's full of one more last chance, a little cry until we laugh, some kiss me like you used to one more time, and some real fine cheap wine, some real fine cheap wine.
You're so good.
I appreciate it. I have some talented friends, so
Well,
that helps.
you're
It helps a
awfully
lot.
talented. I think even if you didn't have the friends, we'd have just as nice songs.
Thanks.
You have another song. It's called Humankind, and there's a little bit of a story behind this that is real personal to you.
Yeah, I wrote this with Aline Cronin. It was her idea. She had seen a hashtag on the internet, hashtag humankind, with one of those videos of people doing random acts of human kindness.
Mm-hmm.
And she had an idea about how to write that title, and I'm very thankful she brought it to me. And so, as happens a lot when you write, you sit there and talk for a few hours. At first, it's not uncommon as you figure out kind of how to approach the idea, and this song too. We knew we wanted to write the song by telling stories about, characters, and draw the picture that way. And so we talked about her oldest daughter, who was a hospice nurse for 7 years, and that takes a certain gift and talent. And we talked about bullying a little bit, because as I like to say, I was not always 6'4" and 235. I didn't grow till my junior year, and so there was a thing that happened with when I grew, nobody messed with me. And but the Lord gave me that to affect my heart in such a way. A young lady walked into high school my junior year at Bryan Adams before I went to Arts and Magnet my senior year, and I could just tell she was going to need a friend. So that ended up in our second verse, and we talked about Joey a lot that day. And I remember putting on Facebook. Joey was my brother who has Down syndrome. For those of you who don't know the story. He had Down syndrome. He passed away a little over 4 years ago now. And this was about 2.5 years after he passed, we wrote this. And I put on Facebook that day that Joey was in the room a lot that day. And that was my way of saying we had talked about him a lot. And I said he was in the room a lot today, and I was okay. And because it was the first time I had talked about him that much, because usually, I could talk about him for about 30 seconds.
Right.
When I first met you, I met him same day.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Where was that?
You had invited me to do a songwriters thing up.
Oh, that's
somewhere
right.
up in North Dallas.
That's
I forget
right.
where it was. A long time ago.
Yeah.
8 or 9 years ago.
Yeah.
And
That's
what a
right.
delight.
Yeah.
And the delight, I have to say this, too. Scott Sean White dedicated himself to his brother.
That's
And
awesome.
I've rarely ever seen that. No, I'm just saying.
You didn't have
I've
to,
rarely
though.
ever seen that from a human being give what you gave.
Yeah.
And I take my hat off to you, brother.
Yep.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I always tell people I got a lot more out of that than Joey did. But I say all that to say that Joey didn't end up in the actual lyrics, but he's in the song. He's an old man, a hard man, who can't hold on to nothing. Not his razor, not his temper, not his tongue. She's a young nurse, a sweet girl, who comes in every morning, makes his bed, shaves his face, cleans him up. She's been there 3 years now, ain't seen a one of his kids ever come around. So she drives in on his Sundays off to play a game of gin and take him for a walk. And for a little while he forgets to be mad. He remembers how to tell a joke and make a pretty girl laugh. The hurt goes away and the lonely fades with just a smile and the gift of a little time. Nothing eases human pain like human kind. She's the new kid in a new town for the third time in 2 years. In high school can be cruel when you're different. He can tell when she walks in, she's a trust nobody who could use a friend. He takes a seat beside her no one wants to take, and in the lunchroom That's a pretty big thing. And for a little while, she forgets to be scared. She remembers for a minute what it's like to fit in somewhere. The hurt goes away, and the lonely fades with just a smile and the gift of a little time. Nothing eases human pain like human kind. It don't take much to help someone, to save someone. 'Cause for a little while we forget to give up. We remember what it's like when someone walks this road with us. The hurt goes away, and the lonely fades with just a smile and the gift of a little time. Nothing eases human pain like human kind. Like human kind. Thank you very much.
Excellent song. Mm-hmm. Before you take us out of this part of the show with Piano for Sale and tell us about that song, I want to also mention that Miss Claudia Gibson will be with us next Tuesday.
Ooh, I love Claudia.
And Bubba with Sauce in 2 weeks. And that's a lot of fun, too. Bubba Keith and Mike Sauce are going to be here. So the next 2 weeks are going to be glorious, as well as tonight with Scott Sean White. I must be a songwriter. That rhymed.
It does. I thought you were going to say something about my 3 names. When I first went to Nashville, there was another Scott White, a songwriter, and I'd see him advertise it, playing rounds and stuff at the Commodore and different places. So I was like, oh, I'll just use all 3 names so people know.
Can differentiate, yeah.
And then it stuck. And then in Nashville especially, half the people call me Sean, which is fine. I answered all the above. Mm-hmm. I was talking to my friend Jesse Robb today, and he's real good friends with Cody Johnson. And matter of fact, we're all playing down in Houston Thursday at the rodeo. And Cody calls me Sean. And I said, Cody can call me whatever he wants to call me.
As long as he calls you.
Yeah.
But Piano for Sale is the song, and I wanted to mention to you also, our friend Art Dickerson told me to tell you hello. And he is punching on me to do a show with you next year. 2 pianos and
dueling pianos.
Yeah,
let's do that one night.
I will play guitar also, but yes.
Yeah, would you do a show with Art? He'd love to do one with you, and I told him I'd put you on the spot tonight.
Come on, that's fine.
There you go, Art.
Art has a great voice too.
Oh man,
mm-hmm.
Oh man,
He's
one of those guys. There's a bunch of that in Nashville where you see somebody, and then the voice that comes out of him, you're like, I would have never guessed.
Right.
That was coming out of that guy.
We met him one night.
And he's one of those people.
He's our piano player.
Yeah.
Well, we love it, the fact that he's just a team player.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when we've asked him to do things, he's always been there. And, sort of like Scott Sean White.
That's right.
Yes, sir. So this song here I wrote with Barrett Baber and Terry Joe Box. It was the first song I wrote with Barrett Baber. Terry Joe Box we've been writing for 13, 14 years, so it had been a while with her. But Barrett was on The Voice, and about 5-6 years ago he got 3rd, I think.
Oh, wow. Cool.
And so he blew up in his home state of Arkansas. He was touring all over and doing big shows, had a tour bus and everything. And on one Sunday afternoon, about 3 years ago, I guess, about three and a half, he played a show in Marion, Arkansas, and he was driving home Sunday afternoon on the bus, and as he tells the story, they rounded the bend on the highway there, and off in the distance he could see the steeple at his dad's old church, where his dad was a preacher for 15 years. And he told his tour manager who was driving the bus, he said, the only thing that was in that church more when I was growing up than me is that old piano. And if they ever sell it, I want to buy it. And that was Sunday afternoon. Monday morning, he had a writing appointment with me and Terry Joe, and he walked in, said he wanted to write a song about that piano, all things it played for, funerals and baptisms and weddings, and he had a title, Piano for Sale. So we wrote it. It's a very good day. Piano for sale, best offer, printed underneath the weekly prayer list. It's my first time back in this church in forever, but I'll take it no matter how much that is. It's just a beat up, upright old banger, made of maple and brown sugar pine. But there's pieces of me in those ivory keys, and every song that's ever changed my life, 'cause it played Yes, Jesus Loves Me when I learned I could sing, just as I am on the day I believed. Oh, here comes a bride, when she walked down to me. It is well with my soul when we let mama go. Piano for sale, soul. I never told anybody about all those nights when I'd sneak in and play honky-tonk songs, or all my white guys and empty church confessions. So load it up, I'm taking it all home, 'cause it played Yes, Jesus Loves Me when I didn't feel loved, and just as I am when I wasn't good enough. Oh, here comes a bride, the best day of my life. It is well with my soul when we let mama go. Piano for sale, it is well with my soul. Oh, and sing me back home. Piano for sale, sold. Soul, yeah, soul. Soul.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
It has been our absolute pleasure to have you in here this evening, Scott.
Thank you for having me.
It's
It's
always
been a
good
pleasure
to
to be
hear
here.
you and listen to your songs, and you paint such a great picture in your lyrics. It's just awesome. I also want to thank our Facebook listening audience.
Yes.
And
They did join us. About
yes,
The third song.
and
Good.
our studio audience in here this evening.
Thank you
Also
very
want to
much.
thank Gene Moore and Bruce Davis for being here to photograph you this evening and this evening. And I want to thank Reno for being back there in the engineering booth. Thank you so much for giving us your time this evening. Randy, without you, it wouldn't be possible, so thank you for everything you do. You are in the music room.